It's 2010s. None of us knows how to buy or even download games. Therefore, the games we play are the beautiful games of the time, but with the fact that all of them being two-dimensional games. But until one day, you discover these 3D games which feel like they are the highest production games of all time. You had to download Shockwave or Unity extensions in your PC in order to play these games. You even had to use Firefox because Google Chrome didn't support these extensions. Hard times, eh? I was talking to a friend a few days ago about the good old times, and I suddenly remembered this 3D gaming site which was active on my country. We checked it out together, and even the thumbnails of these games are enough to bring back so many memory particles. The days we challenged each other with my cousins in order to get the highest scores in games, these online battle games which gained me some online friendships, spooky horror games which were enough to make the child me myself, and many more memories came to my mind. Especially this game. This game's thumbnail is still scary enough to put chills on my bones. We'll talk about this game soon. And in this video, I'll take us all to a nostalgia trip to experience these games once again. If you want to try these games for yourselves, you can download this Flashpoint application to your PC. Sadly, this is the only way to play these games now. Make sure to download the Infinity version, cause the other one is 1.5 terabytes. Original names of the games will be included in the timelines of the video. You can find them by searching it inside the app. Anyways people, if you and your food is ready, let's play the old 3D web games we used to play as children. Most of you probably remember this game clearly. Fly Like a Bird. This is the second game of the series. First one was too old even for nostalgia. In this game, you control this stupid pigeon. Things you can do are limited. You can fly around and poop on the heads of NPCs roaming around. But each time I press the pooping button, the game freezes for a second for unknown reasons. I realized that this game wasn't as good as I remembered it to be. I didn't like it much back then too, but the idea of flying around in the city as a pigeon used to sound pretty good. It has cute flying mechanics though. You can feel the weight of the bird slightly. Floating is fun. But this entertainment lasts only 3 minutes. After that you get bored of this Silent Hill-like city. If your bird crashes onto something or gets hit by an NPC, it makes a sad noise and loses health. Also, there's this Bootcamp. Yay! There's nothing else to talk about this game actually. And next on, there are these snowboard games which I used to have a lot of fun while playing them. You pick a region in the beginning, and your missions change depending on which region you chose, I guess. I chose Canada thinking it'd be cold enough, and then picked the woman character because I always choose the woman character. In these old games they always show you which buttons to press at the beginning. Apparently, I was supposed to get through these flags in this map. But since I didn't know that, I instantly lost the game. Sad. I tried again by paying more attention to the flags. You can do acrobatic moves in the air too. But this flag thing was really boring, so I moved on to the next snowboard game. Freestyle Snowboard. This one is a lot more fun. Look, there are so many combos in this one. You can jump by X and do acrobatic moves by pressing Z. Main goal of the game is to do as much acrobatics as possible and get a high score. But since I wasn't used to the controls of the game, I failed a lot. I couldn't climb on these blue things for instance. Imagine that you're a child who haven't seen a game other than Minesweeper in his entire life, and you suddenly find yourself doing moves like these. Wouldn't you feel extremely shocked? I played another level and did more acrobatics since I didn't feel satisfied with the first one. The character makes a creepy sound each time I make a move. Speaking of creepiness, remember this game which made the little me explode my pants? The image of these two doors. It feels so traumatic. Let's dig my trauma. The Boogeyman is still waiting for you. Get out of the house, now! Think fast! Your flashlight is dying, just like you. If you stay in one place for too long, can you escape the Boogeyman? And yeah, this is that two doors image. It still looks creepy, but not that much though. Why was I so scared of this game? You just be walking, opening doors and... Holy cow! You piece of... What is this? What are these animations? You existed in a time there wasn't something called a touchscreen phone. You are played by 8-year-olds. Of course they'll get traumatized. Anyways, the game is pretty simple. You must escape the house before your flashlight dies, and you do that by opening these doors. But only one of these doors will lead you to the next room. Behind any other door, there is Boogeyman, and if you open them, this cursed animation triggers. These set dead-end doors will shake now and then and will let you know where not to go. In my first walkthrough, my battery died while I was trying to see if the doors were shaking, and I died. On the next try, I opened the doors by memory, but at one point my memory did me wrong and I died again. But I finally managed to bring an end to my childhood trauma and escape the house. Our next game is Bootcamp, people. This game takes more space in your hardware compared to the others, but it's still pretty compressed. It's a third-person shooter game which you run around with your soldier character and fight with other players. You can turn your gun into a grenade launcher by pressing 2-2. But since there is no one else other than me, I can't try these guns on anyone. There isn't much to talk about this game, because as I said, there isn't a single soul left in it. But I remember having fun times in this game. I even had friendships through the game. We used to team up and attack on others. Let's see, how is the water physics? It doesn't exist. Nice! Instead of that, let's check the CS replica out. This menu design brings back so many memories. There is no one in this game as well, so we won't be fighting anyone again, but this one has a very fun zombie mode too. I think the game continues its destiny as a mobile game now. I could choose only one map since I wasn't online. I remember not liking this map a lot, but it's okay. I found myself standing in this ship when I first started the game. I used my excellent parkour skills to climb up and looked for zombies to kill. I found my first zombie, and weirdly it was still so fun to shoot zombies in this game. Even though the first few bullets do nothing to the zombies, the final shot shoots them across the map and it has a nice feeling to it. I climbed to the highest spot of the ship and started shooting zombies from there. In this game, zombies can spawn behind you or reach your location with the weirdest ways wherever you go. Damn, look at this feeling. This makes me miss the zombie mode of CS 1.6. I activated the cheats to buy any weapon I want and then kept on slaughtering zombies. For some reason, there's also a kamikaze bot in the zombie mode running at you like this. It's funny that they have the same IQ levels with the zombies. I tried each weapon in the game, one by one. You can build barricades like this too. I tried to climb this tower too, but I forgot the fact that your health decreases automatically in places like these in this game. I think this game is one of the few that still entertains me. Especially if I had a chance to play with different players on different maps, I'd have lots of fun. For FPS lovers, let me show the recoil of the guns. Yeah, 0. If your aim is trash just like mine, this game is for you. There's this Harry Potter game too. I know nothing about the Harry Potter universe, but the idea to play a character you can make magic used to sound really good as a child. It's not that fun as a game when I look at it now, but I still wanted to include it in the list. The game's goal is to use your wand to catch these pixies with magic. That's all there is about this game. And next on the list, there is this very nostalgic skateboard game. You skate, obviously, do acrobatics and get your shoes in this urban city. It's still looking quite fun with today's standards too, I guess. As a plus, the game's city feels a lot more alive than the rest. But this falling on the ground effect. It was too intense and bloody. Your character can stand up easily though. I found myself stuck in a loop near the finish line. This situation reminds me of me trying to fight against life's difficulties, but the life being a There's also a second game to the series, and there are many more acrobatic moves in this one. All I do is to jump like a rabbit though. Rabbit. This rabbit metaphor reminded me of us trying to hold on to life by working 12 hours a day with only one day off each week. Only one. Anyways, you skate in a city in this game too, but with more content. Cars can honk at you and slow down when they see you. They also reduce the blood effect of the first game, and the city feels a lot more alive on this one. It's quite good for its time, I guess. I tried to do more jumping and running on my second playthrough, but this guy dies if he used to use balconies. And another horror game. There was this horror movie called the Hostel, and this is the game of that movie. This film was a bit traumatizing too, but not as much as the door one though. Welcome to the killing floor. A place for a prize. The sickest fantasies of torture and killing are experienced. It is up to you to escape. Kill the guards and the elite hunters and save as many victims as you can before they are slaughtered. When you are done, find the elevator and get the hell out. Let's go, what's the worst can happen? You start the game with this wrench in your hand, you can toss it around. You also have a map to see where you are. Imagine that you're an 8-year-old. You open this horror game, Vault, and a guy who looks like Eastern Eminem, covered in blood, started to walk towards you with a butchering knife in his hand. What would you feel? I hit him in the head with my wrench and he died. And then I explored a bit. You can save victims by entering these red doors. And then I entered this room lit by candles. The game asked for a code, but I couldn't find the code anywhere. The website it refers to is not available. And then I realized 2 victims were already killed while I was lingering around. That's when I understood how the game worked. I restarted the game and started speedrunning towards the victims. There is a very stupid bug in this game too. If these red doors are already open, you have to wait for it to get closed or else it doesn't let you enter the room. It's probably because I didn't kill all the guards on my way here. When you go back, point them in the head and wait a bit, the door closes and you can enter. I saved all the victims by speedrunning, went to the elevator and then finished the game. By the way, 1 hit is enough to put you to sleep. Next on the list is a very comprehensive game, based on the animation How to Train Your Dragon, Wild Skies. At the beginning it asks you to choose a character and I choose a girl one, and I name her girl in Turkish too.
You must be the...
There is voiceover in this game. Different maps and regions, items to buy, various dragons you can tame are also available. But first it makes you play this flying tutorial. You literally fly the dragon. You can slow down and even dash. When you use dragon's special powers such as dashing, their staminas decrease and you fill it by feeding them. How you feed them? First, you have to buy a cleaver from the village's store. You'll be buying stuff from the store in order to do different events. With the cleaver you bought, you come to this place to cut some meat and there you go. You got your pet food. You need a different kind of food for each dragon though. To gather each food variation, you need to buy a different tool from the store. I came here to tame my first dragon. I remember seeing this dragon in the animations too. I first gave him some meat and then by doing these quick time events I was able to tame him successfully. I made some tasks with my first dragon. It can also spit fire. Look at these moves. You can hear some dialogue from the NPCs too. And then I went to a different region, played it a bit too, but I eventually got bored and closed the game. It looks like a cool game though, it's definitely playable. And finally, there is the game I dedicated my childhood to. Free running! This is probably the one I played the most as a child. Look at these mechanics for instance, you run, jump and climb. Who could talk about dying like next to this game? You can jump through obstacles in cool ways. You can make banger moves by taking these red cameras as well. It doesn't work very well since the controls are so dumb though. Anyways, best game of my childhood! This game really made me feel very free as a child. And also, our character always wearing a hoodie reminds me of Simon from Cry of Fear. In the game's second level, you also get these platforms which break down in contact. You must have a better timing when going through them. I was trying to make cool moves here, but ended up falling down and embarrassing myself. To cut to the chase, the game has 5 levels and I've finished them all in around 12 minutes or so. These levels used to feel a lot harder as a child. In this playthrough, the hardest one for me was the last level. There were so many of these braking platforms. If you ever played GTA San Andreas, especially San Andreas multiplayer, and try to do parkour, you know it's so nervous to do so. Because your character might not hold onto the ledge, it's almost 50-50. In this construction zone part, the exact feeling was present. I was so scared to lose the game here. Character was sliding like a rock guitar player from time to time too. I had only 20 seconds left and it would be game over if I fell here, but I managed to finish it somehow. There's a very similar game called Assault Course 2, but since it's way too similar, I'm not including in the list. If you want to experience the same game in a military theme, you can search it up in the Flashpoint. There is also another online game, but I had to play it single player again for obvious reasons. You become an animal trying to survive the wildlife in this game. You start as a rabbit and turn into bigger animals over time, but I couldn't do that turning part whatever I did. But I did beat the hell out of 2 wolves as a rabbit during midnight. Those scared dogs couldn't do nothing. You can switch between fight or love modes by pressing the button on the right. On fight mode, you attack. On love mode, you create friendships with other animals. You also have hunger, thirst bars, your diet changes depending on which animal you are, etc. There isn't anything else to talk about this game. This time, we are talking about a game that created an empty space in my heart. It's also the longest I played while recording with 35 minutes. Let me tell you the story of this game. When I played this game as a child for the first time, I really loved it. It had the vibes, you know? But I was stuck at some point and I wasn't able to progress from there. Then the timer ran out and it was game over. I must be doing something wrong, I thought to myself. And then, someday, when I tried to open the game again, it didn't open. It never opened the game. Therefore, I never knew what kind of content I missed because I couldn't proceed. In this video, we will solve a childhood mystery of mine. The game is called Street Dive. It asks me to choose a character and I choose a girl one, cause I always choose a girl character. In this game, you walk on top of buildings, jump into falls from height, and do acrobatic moves while jumping. The game has a time limit, but you can increase it by gathering these cereals. If you jump down from a building, the game sends you back and you lose 1 health. While jumping to pools, you make acrobatic moves with your arrow keys and get a score depending on that. You open your path by using these panels and start roaming around on different buildings. Walking backwards feels like reversing on a truck though. It even has an animation for climbing boxes. I jumped from the highest jumping board of this place. Yay! This was a place that I couldn't proceed through, no matter what I did. This door wouldn't open. But I figured out the version I played was probably bugged because it opened easily now. And it wasn't even half of the game. I missed a lot of content by stucking there. I never had the chance to destroy this water line to jump like this, for instance. That takes you to a chopper, and that chopper takes you to an even bigger building. Woohoo! I'm climbing the highest place in the whole game right now. You can call a cable car here and it takes you to the first building. But if you choose to climb this radio tower instead, it brings you to the highest point of the game for you to jump down in the coolest way possible. The timer ran out just as I was trying to get a cereal here, but I didn't want to leave a hole in my heart again. So I restarted, tried everything I didn't do before and did a speedrun to that place again. But I found out that it was actually the end of the game, because this door takes you back to the city. The door bugged for a while, not letting me go through before it took me to the city. I was scared that I was having another buggy incident for a moment. But now I know that this is all this game can offer to me. It was a very beautiful game in my childhood. It should stay that way forever. Perhaps I shouldn't have played it again. Hey, hope you liked the video, because I loved making it. Be sure to tell me if you want more content like this in the future. Thanks for watching till the end too. Wish you a happy life. See ya.